No, yeah, but I don't want you to see me. This
We
is
can do
fun.
this, and then we
I'm
can go into the
funny.
website.
This is funny. Yeah, but we're good. Let's see if this works. Okay.
There we go.
We're getting it. I'm getting it slowly. So, Jonathan, just if you don't mind, a little bit about yourself. And
Yeah,
go ahead.
my name is Jonathan Silva. I'm the founder of Rabbit Savior. I started this about 6 months ago, and it's grown into a beautiful, I guess now it's a vehicle for everybody to get on and try to really, change the rabbit industry to whereas it needs to pivot and really focus on, the rabbit and really start to change what everybody has been doing for 15, 20 years because it hasn't worked and the issues are still there. So I started this in hopes of really getting like a grasp on different people's views, I guess, and then basically taking off from there and helping the rabbits and run parents.
What I've asked you before, and I love your story about the rabbits. And if you don't mind, I think it's really important. Your story, your personal story, and why rabbits for you?
Well, it was one of those things where anxiety and depression were a big part of my life, but it hit me really hard. And as I explained in the first video, that there's something about rabbits and bunnies on Instagram that made me super happy. And then I just saw these guys, and once I saw the GoFundMe's and things like that, and my rabbits dying and they need help and can't afford it, I'm like, oh wow. So it all just stemmed from there and just kind of spiraled into what Rabbit Savior is actually today, and that's trying to really focus on saving the rabbit because, like I said, they saved me.
I understand that.
So that's why I'm working my what off to really put a staple in this community and turn it into an industry because, like I said, the biggest thing is people value the dollar. And I really want to get into this before we get into the website and memberships. And I've had a lot of people say, why am I going to invest X amount of dollars into a, no offense to anybody, but a $20 rabbit where I can just, if it gets sick, dump it or throw it away and I'll get a new one because there's so much supply. Now it's the paper plate effect to where you don't rewash a paper plate. They're cheap. You buy them at Target for $3. They're always there. That's a perception that people have of rabbits. And I hate to say that because, I'm not going to, pay, $13 for insurance and the vet bill's $2,000. I'll just leave it there and get another one. That has to change because the rabbit has value. So if the rabbit has a value on it, the value goes up and people are going to take the time to spend money on the rabbit. So that's kind of where I'm going with this whole thing. I want to show value. It's okay to make a profit because a profit gets turned into the ecosystem and, things like that. So I can discuss that later on in depth, but just to give a little sneak peek of what, I try to plan to do is to make the community start to make money to whereas the volunteers can get paid one day.
That'd be great.
The fosters will be able to foster because there's a supplemental program out there. I don't really want to get into detail, but we do have something that's going to be in the works in about a year or two. It's, it's for fosters and we will provide, what we can, but if there's profits, that means companies can pay for things and pay for people's services. So then it starts to become its own ecosystem and business.
Again, and it becomes the value, as you say, value. Too often.
That's the biggest thing, value of the rabbit, because they always perceive it, oh, it's cheap, I can just toss it and get another one. It means nothing. But if the rabbit has more of a dollar amount on its head, and people would be like, you know what, I'm going to invest in this thing. Because me personally, I have nationwide insurance. I have tier 3 of my home membership program. I will pay X amount of dollars just to take care of these guys. I don't mind spending it. If I can't afford it, I'll figure out a way to afford it because that's how much they mean to me. And I think one day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear a GoPro around my chest. And I think I'm going to give everybody a bird's eye view of what we go through a day with me and the bunnies at my house. I don't dress them up. I don't do anything that I can.
Never dress.
I actually talk to mine like they're my kids. And with that being said, I mean, I wake up in the morning. They do sleep with me now in the bedroom. So they're my alarm clocks. I have two bunnies basically on my bed running around. Hey, where's breakfast? So I get up,
Yeah,
I make
I
coffee,
understand
I
that.
get them the greens, things like
Yeah.
that. So I do everything around them. And then I plan out my day, but I also plan out my day with them because I literally talk to them like my kids and they listen, they understand. They're getting to understand no. I know that's crazy, but if they're chewing on something, say no.
No, yeah.
And they're like looking at me.
They look
like,
at you.
"Oh." Yeah. So the value of the rabbit needs to change. And I think once the value of the rabbit changes, people will spend more money. And that's going to really accentuate people from not getting rabbits because they know because rabbits are expensive.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and I want to get that across because if you have a bunch of people just buying rabbits for $20, you're going to have the same problem over and over and over again.
When yeah, Jonathan Silva, and I agree with you. And one of the things I've thought I should get a tag. I actually have a one that says Louis emotional support animal, but I should have emotional support. They are our emotional support.
Oh, 100%.
They are our emotional support. And again, that's I agree with you. I've had people that have laughed when I've said how they've helped me get through difficult times in my life.
No, 100%. And like,
I hear you.
We discussed yesterday, rabbit doesn't mean you're a lesser of a man or things like that. And I'm proud to have a rabbit.
I'm a rabbit man. I hear you. And I love that about, I love that when you
look at my shirt.
But it says bunnies are
my
bosses. And you're right. And when I think about that, and I think about one particular, actually, not to belabor the story, but I was walking the other day, car issues, and Sarah Queen from F5RS Rabbit Rescue stopped to see if I needed a ride or something. And she does so much. I mean, she has taken rabbits up to
awesome.
the Ronald McDonald House at Cleveland for kids. I mean, she's gone to nursing homes. She's gone, and the economics are difficult for rescues, difficult.
No, I totally understand. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of, the scope of what we're doing and what RSS is about, and just be a hub and connect people together. And I just want it to be a good experience for everybody. If you don't want to buy the membership, that's fine. You can be a free, member, get limited services, but I'm really trying to teach the actual community, and I'll get into the partners, down the road, that we have a lot of, partners on our page. And there's a reason why I'm gathering these people together. And then it's going to be a beautiful thing once everything is symmetrical and just, out the open.
And you're doing a wonderful job with it, Jonathan Silva. I'm talking with Jonathan Silva, Rabbit Savior, rabbitsavior.com. A quick shout out to attorney Meg Nasero, author of Butterfly Awakens. She's with us, a memoir of transformation through grief. And we've talked about the value and importance of animals in our life. And she's a wonderful author, in Florida, author of a number of books. And I'm delighted to have her with us, and Jack at the shop around the corner, and others that are sending me some emails now. Interesting. So let's tell us about the organization. Tell us more about Rabbit Savior.
So Rabbit Savior has a couple tiers. You have the membership. We have Fund My Bun program, which is basically the donation platform. And then we're introducing Fund My Rescue platform that should be out probably in about 60 days. We're building that right now. And then we have the partners page, to where we have all bunny partners on there to basically create its own ecosystem, so they can start making a profit and then turn that into a business, and they can hopefully quit their 9-to-5 jobs. We have the rescues, we have the veterinarians on board. So it's basically everything packed into a one business of bunnies. A lot of people say, oh, well, there's other insurance companies out there that are doing the same thing. And I always tell people, well, no, because we don't have any dogs, we don't have any cats, we don't have any lizards, anything like that. So it's only focused on the rabbit. And we're focusing on the community to turn it into a beautiful structured, industry, to whereas the rabbit can actually, start to change, and there's more prominent decision making. And And we
I'm sorry. Forgive me for interrupting you, but
Yeah.
Karen says, I bought my bunny years ago for $30. And a couple of months later, she had a $2,500 surgery, but obviously got it because she had her for 11 years and she's put hearts up. So, and that's beautiful. I mean, people don't realize the cost, and you've got to be prepared going in.
And then that's the thing, you have to be prepared. So I want to really focus on this because I'm going to tell you guys where I came from. I came from the finance industry, and the worst thing that you can do is put the rabbit bill on a credit card. Let's say it's $2,000, $3,000, and that's going to take about 6 to 7 years to pay off if you do the minimum payment. So I designed this in a way to where you're going to be covered as much as possible through our program, so you don't have to put on a credit card, because that's the worst thing you could actually do, and get yourself into debt. So that's, I just want to, really focus on that as well. So that's kind of like, we have Fund My Bun. We help you raise money if you need it, plus the the membership tier program. And then if you have insurance, that's fine too, because we actually mesh well with the insurance company. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know Nationwide does cover rabbits. They do not cover pre-existing, but we cover pre-existing. Okay, so what we're trying to do is be the supplemental for insurance companies. So what that means is whatever Nationwide covers and you're covered with us, we also cover. So if both cover one topic or one issue, you may not have to owe a vet bill. But whatever they don't cover, we may cover, whatever the circumstance is, so you're protected. So there's an angle for everything. That's kind of how we design this. It's almost like the Aflac of the rabbit industry.
Aflac of the rabbit industry. That's great. I love that. And again, the costs, like Karen was saying about hers. And I remember one of the buns that we had years ago, you and I were talking about her off air, and I was talking about the wonderful vet that truly saved her life. It ended up, it was thousands of dollars. And fortunately, at that time in my life, economics were different, and it was okay. But it can be difficult. And then no one should have to make the decision of, I can't afford it and I've got to euthanize the rabbit. No one should be in that position to have to choose whether to have the proper medical care, veterinary care, or let that loved one go.
Correct. And like I said, we're trying to make it easy on both ends. And one of the next interviews that you and I will do is I have some veterinarians that want to come on the show and do a tell-all so people understand what these vets go through that the public doesn't see. So they can, ease up on them a little bit. And there's a lot of stories that I've heard behind the scenes, what the public doesn't know and see and what they don't tell. It's shocking. And there's a lot of stuff online. Oh, this vet. But after hearing their side of the story, because there's always two sides of the story, you have to understand that. And after hearing their side, it's like, oh, I'm lost for words, like seriously. So I'm going to bring some vets on. They can do a tell all. That way, the public sees what they don't hear and see. And I think it'll really kind of start to mend everybody together to whereas, oh, that vet charged me $2,000. That's BS. Well, do you really know why? So we really want to give the knowledge out there and kind of go that direction.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So let's talk. Do you want to talk about membership first, or?
Yeah, let's talk about the memberships first. Let's go down to, let's see here.
Tell me, let me.
We're on the,
okay. I'm going to.
So where do the donations and membership dues go? Obviously the donation dues and memberships and all that stuff, we allocate it in different areas to make the community grow. Obviously we do have to make a profit. This is for profit, so people understand that. But our profits are going to create a better ecosystem because, like I said, I hope this thing succeeds beyond the scope of what I want it to, because our profits are going to allocate to the correct areas that are dying, because the free money, like I said, is going to run out. The GoFundMe's help donate, that's going to dwindle. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's when. So we want to start this and create. It's okay to make a profit. It's okay to put value on it, because this has value. There's a lot of things that we offer that has value. So your dollar will go a long way.
A little bit more about that, if you would.
So basically what we're going to do is we have our registered rescues, and then we have the rescues that are going to be on our other program that we're going to release called Rescues Hand in Hand. I won't discuss that yet, but if you know the scope of what I'm doing, you can kind of envision what that means. We are going to donate to the rescues, allocate it correctly, efficiently, and make sure the funds go to different areas of concern. Like I said, we have the volunteers and fosters, so we really want to try to grow this as much as possible and put funding into the community, because what I want to really focus on is the community really needs to start circulating things and making a profit and be okay with it.
It's wonderful. Again, rabbitsavior.com, rabbitsavior.com. Fund My Bun. Let's get back to that, if you would, a little bit.
Okay, Fund My Bun is a donation platform that we are designing. It's a little bit different than what a lot of people are using. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. GoFundMe does take a percentage out. We're not. So if you crowdsource $3,000, you get $3,000. But ours is a little bit different because, you know, I have been scammed before. I've donated and they have deleted their Facebook, I'm not sorry, their Instagram, and I was out X amount of dollars. So what we're doing is different. We're going to actually vet everything. The vet bills are going to be on there, legitimate estimates. We're going to make sure the vet gets paid, not the actual consumer. So we're going to be very conscientious on how we're doing this, and it's just to be fair, so people can pick and choose what bill they want to, fund, things like that. So it's basically what you guys are using now, but we don't take a percentage, and we just make sure that the right party gets paid.
As opposed to some of the things that are, I mean, we've heard horror stories.
Yes.
You hear more of them, and you actually say you got scammed by one. I've heard, we've all heard those horror stories.
Yeah, we just want to make sure the vets.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we want to make sure the vets are getting paid and not, doing a donation and your bills are getting paid or your house payment is getting paid. So we just want to make sure everything
that the vet gets paid and that the rabbit's okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit more about how it's going to work.
So basically once you become a member, you submit a claim, and then we review it. And then we actually walk you through how to, post your pictures, do your campaign, and then you can spread your link on your social media, and you'll actually have a page on your membership page with Rabbit Savior. It'll have a story, the picture, things like that. But we're going to, try to make it to where it's more of a happier feeling, because we want the rabbit pictures not of where it's suffering, but we want it to where your rabbit was happy. We want to get to that level again. So it's not going to be a depressing picture of, my rabbit's, injured, and pictures like that, because sometimes it hurts people so much that they just can't look at the campaign. So we want to do a little bit of a different approach to it, more of a happier feeling, positive feeling, things like that. And
I get that. And again, it's sad, but
it is.
I'm aware of stories where people have used pictures of animals, sick animals, hurt animals, whatever, to raise money that most people think are going to the animal, and some may go to feed them or whatever, but people are profiting or paying other bills, like you say, paying other bills with them. And I'm aware of situations like that. And that's awful, because again, most people, I believe, have a lot of empathy. Most people have a lot of heart, and they see a tough situation, whether they have a four-legged or furry family member or winged family member or not. They want to help. If they're able to help, they want to help. And I think that's the worst of it, to do something like that, or to say someone's sick and they need money, et cetera. That's awful. In fact, I've got a comment from, get the glasses on. Carrie Mitchell says, very important aspect, because the vets should be paid directly. And I like that.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our time and basically, make sure the vet has a direct PayPal link, and we can just go ahead and, issue wire funds to the vet itself, and then just cradle to grave. So we want to make sure everybody is, it's on the up and up.
That's wonderful.
So it's just to be an easy process. Like I said, it should be up and running by April 1st. We're working our rear ends off.
Wow. Whoa,
yeah,
whoa. And let me just tell you, April 1st,
Yeah.
a tradition on my show is, it's not April, it's, everybody calls it April Fool's Day. My show is Fool for Love Day. I'm a fool for love, seriously. And if that launches, we've got to get that scheduled because that would be, that would be perfect. I always look for guests where we can talk about love in some manner or another.
Yes.
And that'd be fantastic. That's really quick. How are you getting this together? I know you're young. Yeah, see, it's the old guy thing. Oh, you
know what's funny?
Young people have it together.
No, it's funny because a lot of people think that, before they saw me, they thought Rabbit Savior was this huge corporation. But I'm just a normal guy that literally got rid of his business last year, and I'm in this 100%. There's no going backwards. That's it. So there's only just a handful of us doing this. I mean, I don't want to say any names because I just want to keep them private, but it's only about 5 people doing this. That's it. And most of them have full-time jobs except for me. So we're just literally working around the clock. So I hope everybody really, appreciates that, because I want this to be such a good tool and vehicle for the rabbit community to hop on and really just take off. Not for profit, oh, we're going to make a lot of money. I mean, I hope it does, because we're just going to get it right back in the community and make it grow. But I just hope this tool really makes the change that this community industry has really been dying for, because whatever has been, I hate to say it, has been going on has not been working, because it's the same problem over and over. So I'm hoping that this will pivot something and we can really march down that road.
My only disagreement with you is you're not a normal guy. You are a wonderful guy. I'm not going to get argumentative with you. I know, folks. Okay. I just want to say for viewers and listeners, I know Jonathan Silva is not a normal guy. And I say that with great admiration for you. It makes me think of a favorite line from a favorite movie of mine, Spun. It's a very bizarre movie, but the one young lady says, one guy, I like you because you're not a normal guy. You're not a normal guy.
Thank you.
You're not. And Krista Milford says living off the animals is horrible. And I agree with her. Living off, to do that, it's one thing to be dedicated and do it for the right reasons. Another thing to break people's hearts with pictures and things, and just for you to be someone to pay their other bills.
So I mean, we're trying to get everything, like I said, nothing on the rabbit community and industry. No. I found gaps, and I'm really trying to close in those gaps as much as I can, where there's no leakage, and just a fair shot of just fairness. Fairness. I know everybody's experienced a donation, and it's been false.
Well, again, and I want rescues to be able to pay their bills. I'm talking about real rescue, people that are really doing rescue.
So to touch on that topic, April 9th, we're going to be doing a walkthrough of a rescue in Southern California. I'll post it on our YouTube channel. It's going to walk everybody through what they do, their day-to-day operations. I don't want to say the rescue name yet. I'll announce that soon, but it's one of our rescues that we work with. But it's going to be really cool to show people how hard they work and what they go through. And then my plan is to travel and do the same thing to all the rescues and get everybody a shot at, hey, look, this is what they go through. There's a lot of stuff. And
it's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. If we can really minimize their pain, that's something that we want to do.
And help. You're right, Jonathan. So I agree with you. And I think it's absolutely wonderful.
And one more thing.
Yeah, go.
We got to make sure all these rescues work hand in hand. So the project that we have rolling out probably the end of the year, I think a lot will be very afraid of it at first, but once they see the mechanism and the machine that is going to create, I think in a couple of years, it's going to be a beautiful thing for rescues.
What do you think do you want to explore that a little with me? You think they're going to be, because again, you and I've talked off here, I've talked a lot about this on air over the years about how some are critical. All the rescues that I'm aware of, the ones that I like, are doing good. They're doing
every rescue out there. Every rescue out there does a great job in their specific areas.
Yes,
that's all I want to say.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
to touch on that topic, and I don't want to get too much into the program because I don't want to spoil it, but if we, I was going to say we, if we can just put aside our egos just for 1 minute, look at the rabbit and work together. Doesn't mean we have to like each other. If we work together, at the end of the day, all we're doing is helping the rabbit.
Yeah.
That's it. And if we can just focus on that and take away the egotistical, oh, I'm better, this and that, blah, 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 you know. And that was my biggest fear doing this, because I didn't want people to think I was so egotistical and trying to get, you know, this started and be the, you know, the forefront of the rabbit hub industry, which I was very afraid at first. But then I'm like, you know what? I hope when they see these interviews and they see me talk, it's just my passion is it's not even that. It's let's make a you know what change and let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah. Let's
So
do
that's
this.
yeah. So rescues hand in hand will be a very
Carrie says, real
Very
men
good.
love, Carrie Mitchell says, real men love bunnies. And I agree, Carrie. And I always thought, yeah. I would always, when I see something, I always say it takes a real man to love a rabbit.
you know, I think mine are sitting there watching that. They're in the TV with me, watching TV.
You got to bring them on someday.
They're a handful. I definitely will. I'll try my best.
I know. Oh God, you're right. I know Lori Lynn Chandler, who's the director of Animal Welfare League of Trumbull County, brought a bun in a couple of weeks ago. It was just great. I always have to watch the cords when the rabbit's on the floor to make sure that no one's chewing anything, and you know, you don't want them to get hurt, get electrocuted. That's other things that people don't realize about rabbits.
Yeah.
And power cords.
Yeah. No, that's,
You know,
that's
it's you're like rabbit proofing, because you've got of course you don't want them to chew through a cord and short something out, but you don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, mine don't like chewing cords. They like ruining my expensive sofas. So,
Well,
and it's like, you know what? It's already done.
That's okay, right? Yeah, I know. You know, you go. That's right. That's but again, people need to be aware of that.
I know.
Before they bring a rabbit in as a family member.
And that's the biggest thing. So what I want to focus on too,
The education. Yeah, go ahead.
The education, number one. And one of the things that I really, really want to focus on is the awareness of the rabbit and the awareness of how much it takes to care for a rabbit, just everything about the rabbit. But I also want to focus that and campaign that to non-rabbit owners. Maybe in the future they will be a rabbit owner, but if we can met that in their brains, they can see, oh, this is the correct cage, this is the correct pellets, this is the correct everything correct for the rabbit. So they know already, oh wow, so if I do get a rabbit, this is the correct stuff. Not just go to, you know, a store and buy a cheap item and I'll stick it in there. So we want to kind of prep those people that aren't rabbit people, so they know down the road, if they do want to make that jump to get a rabbit, they already have a little bit of knowledge of what they should do, get, and, you know, be aware of. That way they don't just go into it blindly and start, you know, doing what people are doing now.
Yeah.
Dumping
No,
bunnies,
John. Yeah.
you know?
Dumping bunnies. Again, it's like the carrot thing. You know, they can have a little carrot, but carrots are too sugary. It's not good for their diet. You know, the carrot tops now, on the other hand, if you buy carrots or grow carrots and you've got extra carrot tops, give them to someone that's got a rabbit, because they love those carrot tops.
Yeah, exactly. So
but you got to know about diet. I mean, there's so many things to know. And as you say about dumping, this time of year, it's, you know, for rabbit people, it's an awful time of the year. I'm not talking about the religious holiday of Easter. I'm just talking about the bunny, you know, where people buy rabbits, and the idea of putting them back in your backyard in a hutch or something. You know, it's like chaining a dog to a dog house in the back. You know, it's just, a hutch is not enough. Our friends from Rabbit Welfare Association in the UK, you know, that's not a life. Why would you bring a living creature into your life to put it in a glorified box in the backyard?
I mean, you wouldn't put your family members out there.
I agree. Yeah. Well, some people might want to put some of their family members. Okay, sorry, I should have gone.
So, but yeah, no. So that's the Fund My Bun. We are going to have a Fund My Rescue. I don't really want to discuss too much detail because we're still working out the kinks. but it'll be the same concept for rescues.
Beautiful.
Um,
That's beautiful. I love that. And yeah,
And then the memberships, like I said, we have 3 different tiers. There's a least expensive, there's a medium, there is an expensive one. So you can go on the website, take a look at either or. We have a bunch of people signed up on a mixture of the memberships. So it just depends on your financial needs. So we have something for everybody. But like I said, guys, if you have any questions on anything, my email's on there, my phone number's on there. You can contact me directly. Everything is so transparent, it's ridiculous.
You're wonderful.
So I'm available anytime. It does take a little bit of time to respond to everybody, but I try my best to literally respond to every message I can. And sometimes I'm up until 4 a.m. responding. And I'm okay with that because I just want to make sure that people, know that I'm a real person.
You are a wonderful person, an amazing human.
I appreciate that.
And I appreciate you and what you're doing and how you're doing it, Jonathan Silva. And we're going to be doing this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So again, if people want to email me, my email's out there, louisbfree@gmail.com, whatever. And
yeah, so I just want to let
address them
everybody that I've come in contact with the rabbit industry, the vets, the rescues, just everybody. I want to thank them. I can't thank them enough, to be honest. They are the forefront of everything. And I've gotten, to be very, very lucky to have connected with an amazing group of people that I've never thought in a million years I would actually have, beside me. And then just I think it was 2 weeks ago, we now have our official ambassador bunny, which if you go to the homepage, it's Jester the Giant Bunny. He is from the UK. He is an adorable bunny. He's massive. So we have a little bio on him if you guys want to go ahead and read that. And we got together, and it's, like I said, the snowball's moving, and it's going to take everybody to move this. And I want this tool, vessel, this vehicle, whatever you guys want to call this thing, I just want it for everybody to actually just benefit off, I just benefit off of it. That's kind of the goal. Everybody, has a piece of it because it's for everybody. That's it.
Yeah. And ultimately the rabbits benefit, which is beautiful.
Yes,
ultimately. And you've got such a heart. You're such a heart. I admire you as a human. I really admire you as a man. Like I've said, for men to come out, because I believe me, it's wonderful. Go ahead.
It's funny you say that because I'm taking a risk, and my name's out there. I'm taking such a huge risk, and I just want people to truly understand that I have everything that is in my power to make this go. And like I said in the first interview, I won't stop. You can't stop me. There's some organizations out there that are very big with a networking web that don't like what I'm doing because they're not the forefront of the spotlight or whatever you want to call it. And I can care less.
Ego. That's
Set
your ego aside. Put your ego in a hutch in the backyard.
Please, you said it and I did. We can go ahead and say it again, but yes.
Put your ego in a hutch in the backyard. I will say.
Yeah. So Rabbit Savior, we're the people's champs. So like I said, we, it's us. And then that's it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to
Jonathan Silva,
email me.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's the membership. We got the free membership, the bun care, the complete care. Take a look at the details, guys, if that helps you. If you don't want any of that, just, hey, support us and we will support you no matter what.
You're wonderful. And again, I will have the audio podcast will be up later. Those listening live, we'll have the YouTube video up, Facebook, etc. Jonathan Silva, you're absolutely wonderful. It's rabbitsavior.com, rabbitsavior.com. Also got the links up at louisfreeshow.com, WFMJ. Folks, we'll be doing it again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
What a wonderful, wonderful young man he is. And I'll tell you, to the love of a rabbit, right? The love of a rabbit is nothing like it. Jonathan, thank you so much.